because I'm leaving soon. I'm leaving soon. So yeah, so we've been told things and remembering two things, right? Fear mongering, is it something that's gonna make the population panic? The citizen panics? Because again, panicking is chaos and you cannot control chaos, right? And if the news I'm gonna say, is it gonna get enough rating? Because I got sponsors, I got things. For example, I follow. I'm gonna be honest. I follow a certain amount of porn star. You know, I'm a freak. I'm a freak, right? And there was a specific porn star that I was following, and she did a very specific video, which she posts on her OnlyFans. I didn't watch it, right? Because I don't pay for sex. I'm desperate, but not that desperate, right? And again, if you do, more power to you. I don't. And she was sad because she did a video and the content flopped. She wasn't sad because the content flopped. She's like, hey, I had this sponsor, and now people are not gonna try the product because it flopped. So then the next time the person or the product is gonna the next time the the person's gonna be looking for someone to sponsor or someone to try their toys, they're not gonna ask me. There's this other video when you cut avocado. Yeah, also on OnlyFans. No, I'm joking. There was this other content, right? And he used to usually sponsored by a company called Cold Water, which was a company of water bottle, right? But then we saw that a lot of the big mukbanger had this sponsor, so they realized that people were eating, were also drinking, and at the table you want to see the table, the nice like bottle, right? So by saying this, then the sponsor kind of left, right? Barry is dead. So we're almost done. We're almost done, guys. Told you nothing charged. Why? But that must wait last second, right? So I'm gonna wait until 2 o'clock. 2 o'clock to charge things. And I could have waited until 1 o'clock. But hey, that's my fault. And now we're doing the hot flashes. I'll have the right wire. The phone will go and cool it down then. Yeah, and yes, the AC is strong, so we're gonna turn that down. Right, good, perfect. I don't know if it's gonna charge enough, and it's not, but it's okay. We'll restart after that, no problem. So yes, so you're gonna think about your sponsor, you're gonna think about the people that are paying the bills, you're gonna think about your contract, right? We offer a amount of rating, which is why they pay us. Imagine. Another thing that you have to understand is, like for example, Super Bowl. Super Bowl, right? So the Super Bowl, how much money is to have an ad? A lot, right? Where? Why? Because the ratings are high. And that's all that matters. Rating, right? What being said, that's what's important. You got approved. And freaking news. Anchorman made fun of it. And it's still something that's very real. Anchorman and Anchorwoman, they're being fed what they say. But the information that you're receiving via various media Not charging, and that fucking sucks. It's not charging.
14K over here. Okay, so with labor, how much would that be, Moses? We're teaching the public, bro.
200 a gram with labor.
I don't have the batteries, dude. Fuck me, bro. Ah. No fucking storage, bro. What a shame. No, I don't want that. Apologies. My apologies. And we're back. I'm so sorry. The battery died in my hand, dude. And this is sad because my workflow is now done. I don't know what I was talking about. I don't remember because all of this is at the dome. When it's at the dome, you don't have to remember stuff, but you don't have to think about stuff, right? But like I was saying, when you're fighting propaganda, you're fighting the system of rating, right? And when you see that not the whole truth is being told, you realize that not the whole truth needs to be told, right? So there's news that they decide, okay, well, we're not gonna present that. It's not that important enough. It's not worth the precious time that we have, right? So you start realizing that the truth is relative, and what is important here isn't the concept of truth that's relative. The concept of telling the truth is relative. The concept of being presented with the truth is relative. And this is where a lot of people get lost. A lot of people get lost by seeing, like, okay, well, I heard it on TV, I heard it on whatever. Podcasts were their big problem. During the pandemic, there was a lot of misinformation, right? A lot of misinformation. And that was damaging because people truly believe. I'm not going to say who misinformation, I'm not going to say where it was misinformation, but there was. And when you see that, you're like, okay, well, who can I trust, right? The people that you connect, if the people that you're questioning the truth, also makes it relative. Why? Because there's only one truth. There's only one relative truth. I'm going to go somewhere that I shouldn't go, but I'm going to go there anyway. Religion. The simple fact that there's multiple religion, and again, I'm not trying to be offensive, right? But the simple fact that there's multiple religion makes you question religion. If there was only one religion, there would be no question. You'd say, okay, well, there's only one religion, so it must be the right one. Otherwise, why only one, right? And then you create doubt, right? And because you create doubt, you create questioning. And ultimately speaking, questioning is the most, if not, well, it is the most important part of everything. Why? Because when you start asking questions, you start wondering. When you start wondering, you start making up answer yourself. Here's the situation. In my past situation, here is the knowledge that I have. Here's the life knowledge that I have. Here is how my surrounding, where I was born, my parents, my friends, think of the situation, and then I'm able to make a informed judgment. Might be the wrong judgment, it might be the wrong information, but I'm making a decision. So why is that more important than the truth, right? Because even if you make a mistake, the fact that you did a decision, even if you did a mistake, the fact that you make that choice will always be more important than just doing something because you're told what to do, right? And this is the problem with truth. When you present it with something called the truth, but you don't know if it's the truth and you don't question if it's the truth, then you follow, right? Dante's Inferno is a great choice for that. Dante's Inferno story, the whole story, and this is a book that dates, it's possibly like one of the oldest book there is. Dante's Inferno is a story of a paladin, right? Who does a crusade, right? And he's being told that whatever he does, he's gonna be forgiven because he got the grace of God with him, right? So then he does some horrible act, right? His wife, which is pure, she did nothing wrong. She did nothing wrong. She's a pious woman. She is beloved. She is an amazing person. She gets sent to hell, right? So Dante is like, no. She didn't do anything wrong. I'll die for her. I will go to the depth of hell for her. So you're gonna give me back my wife, my Beatrice, right? Because the name of the character is Beatrice. It's a fantastic name, by the way. You can try something crazy. If that doesn't work, it doesn't work, but I'm gonna try something crazy. Please work, please. Good, because I don't want to have another problem with the batteries, right? So, because he's being told that what he does is all forgiven, Dante starts causing action, right? So he goes to hell. And every single level of hell is for a certain type of person. The people that unalive themselves, the people that were greedy, the people that were gluttonous, the people that were lazy. So I don't remember all of them, right? But it's basically the 7 deadly sin. And what happened is he's guided by somebody called Virgil, right? And Virgil presents him a lot of his past, right? So he was like, hey, there was this person, right? and she offered you sex in exchange to free her brother or her husband, and you took it. So you took a bribe and you did adultery, right? Which is a sin. You walked away on your wife, you slept with another woman, right? And then, so that's one. Another one, you realized that his father was greedy, right? You realized his mom unalived himself. So Dante is presented with all of these people that he thought was pious, himself included, that weren't pious. They sin, right? Now this is very old school. This is very religious. This is very in the past, but that's what it is, right? And then you realize that he believed that everything that he was doing was righteous, so he didn't question anything. So he didn't question anything. He did some sin, which is why he belonged in hell. And that's the whole story. It's a fantastic story, but the moral of the story is he was told a truth, and because he believes that there was a truth, he did what he had to do, which broke every single thing that he believed in. He believed in the teaching of the church, he believed in the teaching of God, and he didn't follow because he was told that he was going to be forgiven. And he believed that. False prophet. Right? Now, am I calling media as false prophet? No, but I'm telling you that it's a teaching that you show. And as long as you think that everything that they're saying is the truth, as long as you think that everything that they're saying is the entire information that you need, you're not doing research on by yourself. For example, right now, there's a huge problem, right? The huge problem is Google. Well, I'm not saying that Google is a problem. The usage of Google is a problem. I have this question. I don't know the answer. I'm gonna go on Google right away, right? Am I gonna go for 5 or 6, 7 results? No, I'll go for the first one. ChatGPT. I have this question. Will I even make the effort to look for it? No, I'll ask ChatGPT. If ChatGPT sends me something that's mistakes, right? There's this famous clip I'm gonna show you. It's a great clip. It's a, and of course you're not uploading, but that's okay. I forgive you. You have sinned and I forgive you. You have sinned. See, if I wasn't talking about this, I wouldn't check. We just spent 10 minutes waiting for the batteries. I didn't check. Why? Because I thought the truth was I was uploading. Turns out that it wasn't truth. Did I lie? No. Truth is relative. And there you go. This is one example, but it's the best example. GSP versus AI. Yeah.
Watch this. Give me any.
Look.
ChatGPT. You know about that?
Yeah.
Are you good? ChatGPT. You know about that?
Yeah.
So
Did you watch George Pierre?
give me any question you have.
Who's the animal in history that has the biggest bite force of all animal kingdom?
Hey, I'm sitting here with my buddy George. Who's the animal in history with the biggest
Bite force in animal kingdom of all time.
Hey there.
Miguel.
So if we're talking about the animal with the absolute strongest bite force in history, the winner is usually the Tyrannosaurus Rex. Yep.
Is that right?
That's all right. I think the Megalodon beat the Tyrannosaurus Rex.
Answer that.
You got me there. Yeah, the Megalodon is definitely another top contender.
You proved ChatGPT wrong.
I know a big deal about paleontology, that's why.
I've never seen that before. ChatGPT. You know about that?
And of course, this is one instance, right? This is one instance. And I'm going to be something that I love you, George. You're a French Canadian, the pride of our nation. Fucking love you, George. But knowing that and beating ChatGPT for that, is that important? Is that life changing? No. Did you just prove that it gives you the wrong answer? And as long as you think that this is the only answer, you'll not look forward. So if you keep on telling people that it is Tyrannosaurus Rex, what you're doing is misinformation, which is I died. Which is a crime, right? So you are a criminal by misinformation. And this is the whole question. I was talking about media before. When you're being fed information through the teleprompter, are you actively looking for that? No. And it's a question of trust also. I trust what the information I'd have to be presented for. Look at this. 10 hours yesterday. So we worked for 10 hours. From 8 to 5. Insane. It'd be fun to upload. Plus, it's a smaller video, so it's gonna be easy to upload. So yeah, and to go back to the truth is relative content or question, right? The second when there's more than one truth is absolute. There's only one answer, right? You can question truth. The question when you're being told on information, are you questioning the information? Are you believing it without shadow of a doubt? You shouldn't. You should question things, which is questioning truth. But then at the same time, if you're being fed the wrong answer, just like ChatGPT, and you know that's not a wrong answer, and you do the research, like, hey, guess what? Well, technically speaking, no. I did the research. I informed myself, right? I was talking about ChatGPT as a problem, and Google as a problem. We find this one solution. I need a yes or no answer. I don't need to know why. I don't need to know where. And as long as I get the yes or no question, as long as I get the yes or no answer, I don't really care if it's yes or no. Because I got an answer. I have something I didn't have before. I am closer to knowledge, right? And knowledge is power, right? I was talking about yesterday about people in the comments. And one of the guy, he answered something. Well, talking to a comment, and the way he was talking, it was very like a couple mistakes here and there, which is not a big deal. You didn't have the most education. That's your fault. That's okay, right? Problem is the presentation of that information. If you see a bunch of people that don't make an effort to write correctly or not make mistakes, then you're not gonna make effort yourself. That's decline of knowledge, right? So if truth is absolute, there's only one truth. If truth is being presented to you, don't take it as a truth. Question yourself. If something is too good to be true, we question it. So if something is too bad for us, we don't question it. How does that make sense, right? So, and yeah, that's pretty much it. So just for that, this is the point I was trying to make, which is that truth is relative. Talk about Anchorman. They presented as a comedy, but that's what they're talking about, right? That's what they're talking about. Right? Think about it yourself. I'm gonna ask you a question. It's not a problem. I'm not aiming at anybody. I am not judging, right? But ask yourself, when is the last time that I researched something? What's the last time that I researched information? What's the last time I researched what happened during that day? When is the last time I opened up a history book? When is the last time that I opened up a cultural book? When I pick up the journal, do I pick up the journal or do I pick up the magazines, right? Also, was the last time that I was presented information in a magazine or a newspaper, in the news, on social media, or that I checked? I mentioned this example, which was really good, which is Oliver Tree, right? Oliver Tree, people wondered if he was truly dead, and people were like, "Dude, I can't believe it." Not because they cared that much about the guy. Of course they cared, because otherwise they wouldn't care that he's dead. They wouldn't react with sadness when they hear that he died. But because this guy was known to do some shock content, they thought it was a prank, or they thought it was not real. It was fake news. That's how they looked, because they questioned the truth. That's one instance on how many instances when you should have questioned the truth. When you go to school, are you questioning what the teacher is saying? How many times does the teacher say something and then you come back home and you like looked it up? Am I saying that you should doubt your teacher? No, you should doubt truth, right? Because truth is relative. Is not a good thing, right? Truth has a value, but it doesn't have the value if we don't give it, right? And that's pretty much it. When you go to another example, you go to the restaurant, right? You have your meals, right? You find the meal expensive, but what you don't think is that, well, you know, there's the rent of the building, the restaurant, right? There's the price of the chef; they're not cooking for free. There's the price of the ingredient, right? Yeah, that's a price. There's a price where there's 40 seated places. You're a family of 4. You are 10% of the restaurant, and you might be 10% for an hour and a half. You're gonna be ordering multiple meal. No, you're going to be ordering one meal. So for an hour and a half, they're only going to get this amount of money from you. This is why the waiter come back time to time and say, "Hey, is everything good here?" What is he trying to do? He's trying to sell you something to drink. He's trying to sell you some alcohol, some beverage, right? You have to understand something. The creation of the loitering law was what? People were using space that could be used for customers. And the rich capitalism complain, right? Fun fact, you guys know around where I live, right? In my neighborhood, there's a Maxi there, right? About, I want to say 15, yeah, I want to say about 15 years ago, I didn't have Wi-Fi, right? Even when I was at my father's place, I didn't have Wi-Fi. So what I would do, I would go places with Wi-Fi to download stuff so I can watch it, right? Even then, when I got my first iPod Touch, not even an iPhone, iPod Touch, right? And why is that important? Because I would go there, and every single day, there was an old group of people, right? And there's nothing wrong with being old. There's nothing wrong with socializing, which is great. We got some beautiful weather. There's a, but I cannot film. But it's beautiful. Give me a sec. I'm just gonna film something and show you. This is how we're gonna do it. This is how. This is gonna give me how much story I have left. And we're back. I just want to show you something. So now we don't have any batteries, but look. The perfect weather. Look at this. Look how beautiful this is. Oh, I could have filmed this, dude. What the heck? There you go. So behind the scenes is not super important, and I'm just gonna watch it. So I can do whatever I want. And also, if you question truth, right? The question is not how it is the truth. Is how often can I get away with lying without getting in trouble? My parents were weird. Like I told you guys this story 1,000 times. My parents were weird. Sometimes there's things that I did that should have been corrected. I should have gotten discipline for it, but I didn't. And sometimes I would do small stuff, and it was a big deal. There was no constance. There was no rule of thumb of, hey, if I do this, I'm gonna get punished for this. You know. I was gonna get punished, but I didn't know the intensity. So I was fearful of doing the small things because I was afraid of being punished. But I would do the big thing because I was like, you know what? If I'm gonna get punished, might as well worth it. So you didn't teach me value of a wrong action. You taught me the fear of doing a wrong action because of consequences. But when there's no consequences, like for example with the jail, right? You know that if you do a crime, for example, if you unalive somebody, you get an amount of time. If you steal from somebody, you get an amount of time. If you sell weed, you get an amount of time, right? And some people, I'm not saying everybody, but when you do the crime, you hear that in a movie also. They're telling like, hey, if we get caught, you know how much time that is in jail? And they know the exact amount. You can find the information of how much time. And then, by knowing the information, you're asking yourself the question, is it worth it? But committing a crime should never be worth it. Because there's a reason why the law exists. It's to protect everyday people like you and I, right? So the second that you start questioning, like, hey, are the consequences worth it? It's like questioning if it's true, right? And like I was saying, the importance here is being able to answer the question of how often can I lie without getting in trouble? Because if a person they'll lie until they'll get in trouble. Like a kid, you have to teach them, you have to correct them, you have to discipline the kid. Otherwise, they're freaks of nature. They're just unable to live in society, and it's the fault of whom you weren't disciplined enough, right? I was looking at a video on TikTok, and it was a video about Gen Z discipline, and they were trying gentle parenting. It wasn't working. They were trying my generation, freaking discipline, and it was working. And you're like, dude, why did we change that? Oh, because there's law that protect the children. Why? Because, there was some abuse here and there, but at the same time, the abuse is very sad. And if you were abused as a kid, physically, sexually, mentally, psychologically, it's awful, right? But there's so many kids that needed a discipline. I was a trouble kid. My mom. This story. My mom, when I was young, I told this story before, but just not my favorite story. My mom, when I was a kid, very social, right? And my mom would complete stranger, and multiple time, like an hour, like we would go to a party. There was 10 people. I had to give a kiss on the cheek of the 10 people. And she's like, "Hey, there's this perfect stranger, Steph. Kiss, give it a kiss." And as a baby, like, okay, no problem, no problem. And then I was 5 years old. I was 5 or 6. I was in kindergarten, right? And it was this girl, Catherine. And the worst thing is, Catherine was super nice. She was super, super nice. And Catherine, she liked me a lot. And I don't know, I think she had a romantic feeling for me. When I say I think, I'm pretty sure she did. Shout out to Catherine, by the way, if you're watching this. So Catherine, we get to talking, and Catherine, because she was raised watching Princesses movie, of course, Disney in the 90s, of course, thought it was a good idea to lean in and kiss me. Right? And because I was forced to kiss people, random people, by my mom, what I did, I bit her. She thought I was going in for a kiss. I bit her. She had a mark. Now she doesn't have a scar, but she had a mark, right? And then my mom was like, "I don't know why you did that." My father was like, "I don't know either. Something is wrong with our kid." No, because my father, what he did? My father bit me. Yeah, swear to God, into the Bible. My father bit me. Said, "Huh? It hurts, huh?" I'm like, "Yes, Dad. I won't do it again. It hurts." What did I do? I did it again. Oops, I did it again. I bit one of my friends. I'm lost in the game. Oh, baby, baby. No, but, and seriously, like, am I blaming my mom? Of course not. Of course not. I don't think she was responsible, but forcing me to kiss people was weird. It was weird. It was a complete stranger. Completely, I didn't even know their name. Okay, give it a kiss. I don't fucking know him. Nor do I care to know him or her. There you go. And we're officially done with the gaming. And we can just chill. Took an hour 17. Golly. Tell you. If I was not doing this video, if I was 17, I don't have that time. Right? So, yeah, it just sucks. It just sucks because it's all a question. Right? Right? Anyway. I love you guys. Take it easy. Sorry that was a big video this morning. Just got super motivated. Now I got a headache though. So I'm gonna let you guys go, and I love ya. Peace. Oh, I got a headache. Ugh. Okay. If I start filming, I haven't much time. 30 minutes. Okay, let's go. Ugh. There's no way. Ah! I have to go. I have to go. I did a 2 hours video. Fuck. Yeah, there's a couple of technical problem though. That's supposed to be why. Innocent. Oh, selfish. Dumb Link, it's your boy Ink, welcome to the show. Just finished making videos. We did a 2 hours today, talking. The truth is relative. Fuck, I got a lot of scars. Don't pop your pimple, guys. So now I just realized that it's 7:30. I need to take a shower. I need to take a bath. I need to go to upload, and I got to do it at my father's house at 8:30. So yeah, let's freaking go. Play with. Oh yeah, great video. Huh? Oh yeah. Oh. Prime membership. Cool. No doubt about. Cool. Cool. No doubt. Yeah. Cool. No doubt. Everything else? I just love everything else. Yeesh. I'm looking for. Mama, how are you? Thank you so much. I appreciate you. You are the best. You. When my time comes to get the wrong that I've done, help me leave behind reasons to weakness. Don't resent me. And when you're feeling empty, keep me in your memories. Leave out the rest. Leave out the rest. Forgetting. No. Almost. But at the same time, because she's always thinking about me, it's not expected, but it's not. But it was the same time, but my father, that's me, for example, put a bag of low, right? And was a grocery bag, and the handle was broken. And in my book, that too, broken garbage. I'm like, okay, that's very kind. What else? Hit me when you're mad. Leave out all the rest. And don't resent me. When you're feeling empty. In your memories. Hello, hello. Hello, hello, my friend. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Hi, Bella. Good to hear you. Good to hear you. Sack of taters. A sack of taters. 2 sacks of taters. Ew. One, two, three, four. 1 sack of taters. 2 sack of taters. 3 sack of taters. 3 sack. No. I am blue. I am a chocolate. I am blue. I am a chocolate. That's what I said. Huh? What? I do like Anakin, like the actor. I am the one to say that Anakin was the only choice. But out of love, a Mace Windu, I know, raised, right? But at the same time, I do feel like Anakin. Okay, so we gotta go, guys. We has got to go. We has got to go. What time is it? 10:50. Okay, I got ample time. Oh shit! Sword, you're gonna about to die. Sword, we saved you. Last second. Last second, Sword. Whew! Good gracious. Goodness gracious. Now what I need to do is 2 quests. Good. Good. So now I'm gonna go to my father's house, so I have to prepare myself. Prepare myself. Good night, merchant. Do we have stock to upload? Of course we do. We got nothing but stock to upload. Good night. Good night, Voiceless. See you tomorrow. Again. Good night, my dearly beloved. Speedster. Good night, Frenchie. Good night, Resistance. My apologies. Good night, Crown. No, for reals. Good night, Shield. Okay, we'll keep Crown and
Robust urban garlic flavor. Welcome.
actually, good night, Crown.
Boom. All right. I know right now we're at 11,900 kicks so far this week for Cam.